Hello and welcome to Cowan Memorial Auditorium here this evening, where we will see our varsity reserve men's basketball team compete in their first game of the 2022-23 season. Your Falcons of Kansas Christian College are hosting the Ottawa University Black JV team tonight. Rosters this evening for your Falcons: we will have number 1, Gary Scales. Number 4, Kyle Roach. Number 44, A.J. Kahn. Number 35, Jose Bermejo. Number 0, Isaiah Belcherstein, also goes by Wink. Number 45, Quadier Worthy. Number 5, Caden Askew. Number 33, Emmanuel Mandy. And number 41, Ben Myros. That's your players this evening for the Falcons as they host the Braves. The Braves have a lineup of their black JV team. Number 0, Ethan. Number 1, Bryson. Number 3, Francis. Number 5, David. Number 10, Jet, Adam. And number 33, Frank. Looking forward to tonight's matchup. See our varsity reserve team play in their first game. It's been a busy day in the Kansas Christian College Athletic Department. Your varsity men's basketball team at Kansas Christian played at the Paycom Center today, home of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Took on Mid-America Christian University in an exhibition matchup. And the Falcons played well despite losing 107-98. Also playing this evening, your women's varsity basketball team is playing in an exhibition at Cotty College. That game just tipped off. We'll have updates throughout the evening. Tonight's matchup will kick off here in about a minute and a half. As we get ready to go, you'll have me, Tony Hurla, on the call this evening. Out on the floor, we have Miss Tara Lee McReynolds and Kenneth Ferguson at the table. And Karis is up here working the camera for us here tonight. Men's basketball season. The boys are set. Referees are on the floor, ready to toss this ball in the air and get the action underway. Out there on the floor for your Falcons, you have Wink, Belcherstein, A.J. Kahn, Jose Bermejo, Kyle Roach, Okay, some issues squared away at the table, and there's the tip. Wink grabs it, puts up a shot, and it's good. 2 points for Isaiah Belcherstein. You'll hear me call him Wink throughout the evening here tonight. 2-0 Falcons. The Braves bring the ball up the court. setting up their offense. They swing it to the corner. Back out to the wing. Number 3 off the mark. Rebound goes to the Braves. Pass the ball back and forth. Now to the wing for another 3. This one again off the mark. And again the Braves with the rebound. That ball is stolen by Bermejo, but then stolen right back by the Braves. To the bucket he goes. The layup is no good, but a foul. Stop the clock. Free throws coming up for the Braves. At the line, number 3, Francis. First shot is in and out. Around the rim it goes and falls out. 2-shot foul. This one will be in play. Francis dribbles. Shots up. And off the mark again. And the ball goes out of bounds to the Falcons. Gary Scales brings the ball up the floor for the Falcons as they set up their offense. Over to the wing with Wink. Wink passes it back to Scales. Scales dribbles it out. Scales to the cup. Lays it up and off the mark. Rebound to the Braves. All 3 Falcons defenders surround Ottawa, but they get the ball up beyond the midcourt line. To the hole goes Francis, but that shot is rejected by Kahn. A 3 goes up, and the Falcons bring it down. Kyle Roach up the floor with the ball. He runs into some traffic with the Braves, pulls it out, gets it to Scales. His left-handed shot, no good. Rebound, Ottawa. Pass up the floor is deflected, and the pass from number 5, David, goes out of bounds. Up for a jumper. Shots off the mark. Ottawa bounces off each other, and that ball ends up going to the Braves. Number 12, Elias, inbounds to Francis. Francis quickly up the floor into the corner for a 3, and that is good. Number 11, Efren, with the 3 for the Braves. Ottawa now leads 3-2. Scales walks the ball up the floor. Roach in the corner, Wink opposite. Scales heads towards Wink's direction. Calls out some instructions as he vacates to the other side of the floor. Kahn pulls up for a jumper, and it's good. Little step-back jumper by A.J. Kahn for 2 points. Braves right back into action. Pass to the corner. Efren thought about another 3, passed it up, sent it to Francis. His 3 goes up. It's no good. Scales is on the rebound. Scales to Roach. Roach up the floor. He crossover dribbles, sends it back out to Scales. He goes baseline, and his pass is deflected out of bounds. Ball will stay with the Falcons. Just over the 17-minute mark here in the first half. Scales looking to inbounds the pass. He finds Kahn for another jumper. This one too strong. Francis quickly takes it up the floor. He's got a man with numbers, and the layup is good. Ottawa number 0, Ethan, with the bucket. Fast break points there for the Braves. They retake the lead. Scales surveying the floor, calls Kahn up to the top. He sets a screen. Scales goes to Wink. Wink looking for an opening. Passes off to Roach. Roach to the middle. Jump stop, jump ball. Number 33, Frank, got his hands on that basketball there as Roach dribbled to the center. Tie up. Keeps possession with the Falcons. Kyle Roach will inbound for the Falcons as they line up in a line set. And after discussion, turns out the jump ball needed to go to the Braves rather than the Falcons. So flipping the court they go. Here comes number 10, Jet. Passes it off to the side, into the corner for Francis. Little grab foul there. Foul's going to be on number 4, Kyle Roach, on the arm. Efren with the inbounds for Ottawa. He finds Frank for a nice left-handed bucket. Gets to the basket for an easy look, and the Braves lead 7-4. Ottawa's bench imploring them to play defense on this possession. Bermejo sets a pick at the top. Wink comes back around, crosses over, goes to the hoop, and forces way in for a 2. Nice take to the bucket there by Wink. Ottawa back with the ball. They swing it side to side. Number 10, Jet, sends up a 3, and it's good. Jet's first 3 of the ball game gives Ottawa the 10-6 lead. Scales back up the floor. He crosses over, heads back to the opposite side, throws it up, but no shot. Foul before the shot. Number 3 with the foul, Francis, on the push. Scales will inbound. Falcons maintain possession. Scales looking to get it in. He does so to A.J. Kahn. Kahn hands back off to Scales. Scales almost pickpocketed by Frank. He survives it. Wink keeps it, sends it out to Roach for a 3. In and out. Kahn with the rebound. He goes right back up for 2. Good board and put back by A.J. Kahn. Gets the Falcons back within 2 points. Braves swing the ball side to side. Francis goes to the cup. His shot in and out. Rebound, Jose Bermejo. Wink now pushing up the floor with the ball. He goes to the cup again and another finish, but he can't get it to go. Bermejo with the rebound. The putback is no good. He's fouled. And then we have a jump ball. Subs in for Ottawa. Number 12, Elias, and number 31, Adam, enter the game. Francis and Efren both head to the bench. Scales looking to inbound. Throws it up for Kyle Roach. Kyle Roach does a little spin and puts it back into Scales' hands. A.J. Kahn looking to set the screen, now backs off to the corner. Falcons call another play, and Scales reverses court. Roach now with the ball. He heads to the free throw line, kicks out for A.J. Kahn. Shot no good. Rebound Ottawa, number 12, Elias. Jet looking to pass. Little miscommunication there, but Ottawa maintains possession. They go to the corner for Adam, and Adam is fouled. A.J. Kahn with the push on the baseline. Ottawa sets up their out-of-bounds play. Adams with the ball. Tosses it into Frank. Frank's 3 is good. Another 3-point shot for the Braves. 13-8, Ottawa leads Kansas Christian here in the first half. Scales surveying the court. Falcons trying to set up offense here. Kyle Roach heads to the middle and puts up a shot and good. Tough take to the hoop there by Roach. Gets it to go. Jet now over to David. David to Frank. And back out to David from Elias, and that ball goes off the shot clock. It'll be out of bounds. Rebound to the Falcons. More substitutions in for Ottawa. Number 1, Bryson, and number 13, Braden. Falcons substitute number 45, Quadier Worthy. Jose Bermejo heads to the bench. Scales with the ball coming up the floor. Scales moves around the players, setting up play from the point guard position. Roach sets a screen. Scales handling the ball. He goes to the middle, and he's fouled. Number 31, number 31, Adam on the foul. Scales begins the play. He finds Wink. Wink looking for some space. Fadeaway jumper is good. 2 points for the Falcons. The deficit now trimmed to 1 as they try to rally back past the Braves here in the first half. Jet with the ball out top. He goes to the wing, then to the corner. Jet thought about a 3, passed it. Now a jumper from the free throw line at the elbow, and it's no good. A.J. Kahn on the rebound. Scales gives it back to Roach. Roach now setting up the offense. Roach goes right. Bounce pass to Kahn. Nice little setup by the Falcons there. Kahn for 2, and the Falcons lead 14-13. Jet dribbles up the floor. Sends it out to Bryson. Bryson back to Jet. Pump fake, and then into the corner. It goes. 3-point shot from Braden is no good. Rebound Falcons. Kyle Roach coming up the floor once again. He dribbles to the hole and finishes. Nice take to the hoop there by Kyle Roach. The Falcons now lead by 3. Jet finds Bryson, who pulls the trigger, but it's off the mark. Wink now right back up the floor after the miss, and he goes to the cup but misses. A.J. Kahn with the putback. And there's a timeout on the floor by Ottawa. Momentum in the favor of the Falcons. Nice little sequence. Put together some good offense. Responded for some quick shots by the Braves. Turned into some offense going the other way for the Falcons. 18-13, 11:39 left in the first half. Take a little break. We'll be right back. And we're back at it. Final horn is sounded out of the timeout. Both teams make their way back out onto the floor. Braves still with Francis taking the ball up the floor. Inbounded from Elias. They let the ball roll, and the clock starts there. Francis looking for some space in the middle. Back out to Bryson and down just off the baseline for a bucket by number 11, Efren. Falcons come right back up the floor. Screen set by A.J. Kahn. Roach goes to the hoop, and he's fouled. Roach making his presence known here early on. He's had a couple of good runs at the basket. He's fouled on that one. He's going to have 2 shots at the line. Roach dribbles once, puts it up, and it's good. First free throw of the night for Kyle Roach. Makes its way through the bottom of the net. And here comes his second. Simple approach, one dribble and up, and it's good again. 2 for 2 at the line by Kyle Roach, and the Braves are right back at it. Over to Bryson, back to Francis. Francis into the middle for Elias. Elias puts up a jumper that is smooth. 2017 Falcons first half. Almost at the midway point. 2 Braves checking in at the table. Roach looking to take another ball to the basket, but it's a little strong this time. They have a trap in the corner. Ottawa escapes it. They go back down the other way. Over to Bryson. Bryson to Francis. Francis for 3. Shot no good. Rebound Efren. And over to Elias. Elias no good. Rebound A.J. Kahn. Falcons slow things down a bit here. Bringing the ball up the floor. They lead by 3. Scales pulls Quadier-Worthy towards him. Quadier with the ball. Looking for some space. Chalks up a 3, and it's good. Off the dribble, Quadier-Worthy finds home with a 3-point bucket. 23-17 Falcons. Ottawa now back over to Efren, who puts up a shot, no good. Roach battles, and Wink ends up with the rebound. Wink dealing with some traffic, and he gets called for a carry. A little bit too much going on there with the hands for Wink on that possession. 2 subs enter the game. Number 0, Ethan. Number 33, Frank, in for the Braves. Pass over to Efren, back to Francis. Now to Ethan, back to Francis. He goes to the cup, and he fights off A.J. Kahn for a bucket and a foul. Potential three-point play as Francis heads to the line for one shot. That's Kahn's second foul. Bermejo checks in for Kahn. Caden Askew checks in for Gary Scales. Francis looking to complete the three-point play, and he does. 23-20 in favor of the Falcons now. Wink inbounds to Quadier Worthy. Quadier heads up the floor, left-handed dribbles. Surveying the floor, looking for action. Coach Perry implores them to start. Quadier ends up getting the ball to Wink. Wink's pass to Bermejo goes awry, and Ethan goes the other way, misses a layup, but Efren is there to clean it up with the putback. 23-22, Falcons lead by 1. 8:52 and counting here in the first half. Kyle Roach heads right, reverses court, sends it over to Quadier. Quadier pump fakes. Bermejo with the step-back jumper off the front of the rim. Askew battles, but Efren comes down with the rebound. Get the ball over to Elias. He swings it over. They switch court, get it to the wing, and Efren goes up. No good. There's Frank with the rebound. He goes out to Ethan. Ethan for 3. Ottawa, good spacing and passing there. Got a wide open look for Ethan, and he didn't miss. Ottawa now regains the lead. They lead 25-23. Kyle Roach dribbling to the middle of the free throw line. He goes to pass to Bermejo, but Bermejo can't handle it. Frank goes behind the back, then finds Ethan in the corner for another wide open 3, and it's good. 2 wide open looks in a row for Ethan. He cashes in on both opportunities. Braves now lead 28-23. Number 31, Adam checking in at the table for the Braves. Number 1, Scales checking in for the Falcons, and that's a charge on Worthy. Quadier took it to the bucket, got charged with the foul, offensive. Scales checks in, Roach goes to the bench. 28-23, Braves lead. Another sub checking in. Scratch that. Sub just running by. Jet sends it out to Efren. Jet back with it, sends it to Ethan, looking for 3 in a row, and he doesn't. 3 wide open looks in a row for Ethan. Makes it 31-23 in favor of Ottawa. Goes to the floor. We got 10 White. Jet with the foul for the Braves. A hand on the back. Gets charged with the push. Scales now inbounding the ball. Gets it into Caden Askew. Caden over to Worthy, who chucks up a 3, and it's good. Worthy 2 for 2 from three-point land. Takes a chunk out of the Ottawa run. Ethan creating space, gets the ball to Frank. Jet with a bump fake, then a Euro step, but his shot's no good. Bermejo comes down with the rebound. Jet gets hooked up underneath of Bermejo's arm and gets charged with the foul. Sub in for the Falcons. Jet will head to the bench. And number 13, Braden, checks in for Jet. Worthy inbounds the ball to Gary Scales, who brings the ball up the court left-handed. Pass over to Caden Askew. He chucks a 3. It's strong. Wink with the rebound. Step back, fade away. Off the rim, off the glass, rebounded by Efren. Braden now bringing the ball up for the Braves. He goes left, sends the ball over to Ethan. Now to Frank. Frank's three-point left-handed shot, no good. Askew with the rebound. Claudier Worthy moves up the court, pulls it back, gives it to Caden. Caden's shot off the front of the rim, then off the grass, and Wink gets charged with the foul. Reaches in, trips up Efren there. Sub at the table, A.J. Kahn coming back in for Wink as he heads to the bench. Kahn, Bermejo, Askew, Worthy, and Scales on the floor for the Falcons. The Braves lead 31-26. Braden goes over to the far side of the court, hands it off to Ethan. Now to Adam. Back and forth they go. They give it to Efren. Efren swings it back to Ethan. Ethan steps back off the dribble for another three, and it's good. It trickles off the front of the rim and in. 4 for 4 from three-point range is Ethan. Scales now looking to create some offense for the Falcons. He passes the ball to Worthy. Worthy creating space, back to Scales. Scales cuts back to the middle of the floor, sends it out to Worthy for another three. In and out. Askew battling, keeps the ball alive. Pass to A.J. Kahn. Ball's on the floor. Kahn battling for the ball on the floor. Slides across the floor, is charged with the travel. Bryson and Elias check back in for Ottawa. Elias inbounds the ball to Braden. Braden dribbles the ball up the floor, looking for some space. He dribbles right. Passes off to Ethan. Ethan to Bryson. Bryson's three is good, and the Braves are red hot from three-point land here in the first half. They now lead by 11. 37-26 Ottawa. Scales trying to bounce back here, lead some offense. Falcons will need to get some buckets and some stops, get this thing to single digits before the end of the first half. Worthy to the cup. His layup is off the mark, but Kahn's there to clean it up. Grabs it and puts it back. 37-28 now. Braden over to Ethan. Ethan to Elias. Elias to Braden. His three is good. Another three for the Braves. They are lighting it up from three-point range tonight. Falcons unable to get stops here on the last few possessions. Have gotten a few scores. They trail by 12. Caden Askew to the middle. Passes the ball to Scales. Scales' pass is deflected, but his foot is on the baseline when he deflected it. Out of bounds. Ball will stay with the Falcons. Scales looking to inbound. He does so, but off of the hands of the Braves. Ball stays there with the Falcons. Black ball on the other side of the hoop. And now Scales sets it up, sends it to A.J. Kahn, puts up a three, off the mark. Scales with the rebound. Dribble and fighting, finds Askew. Askew now to the cup. He passes out to Bermejo. Bermejo to Claudier. That ball was blocked. Off the block, the Braves try to go for a long pass, but Claudier intercepts it, pulls up for a free throw jumper. No good, but A.J. Kahn's there, and he's fouled on the putback. A.J. Kahn will go to the line. 2 shots for Kahn. His first shot off the mark. Kyle Roach checks in for Jose Bermejo. Kahn looking to get 1 out of 2 free throws here. He dribbles, sends it up, and 0 for 2. But right there battling was Kyle Roach, and Kahn goes up, puts it up, misses the putback. Missed opportunity there. Good hustle play by Roach. The Braves end up with the ball. Wink Gary Scales nearly tips it away. Quadier comes out to challenge that three. The Braves finally miss one, but Bryson said not two in a row. Braves with another three. They've put on a show from three-point land. 43-28 in favor of Ottawa. Kyle Roach heads to the hoop, and he finishes with the bucket. Roach has been a difference maker when on the court this evening, but Ottawa comes right back. Nobody got back for defense, and that's going to be 2 points for the Braves. Here comes Kyle Roach, dribbling the ball up the floor. He puts up a three. It's off the mark. Rebound Francis for Ottawa. Francis dribbles to the right, hands off to Adam. Adam goes behind the back. Askew defending. Keeps Adam at bay. Now Kyle Roach out on Francis. We're just under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Francis goes to the right. Roach challenges him, extends him. That ball's passed out to Adam. He goes to the cup and a layup in front of the bucket. So some challenging defense there from the Falcons, but the Braves overcome it, get to the hoop, and lay it in for two. The Braves now lead by 17 here in the first half. Scales waving in Kahn. Kahn sets the pick. Scales goes to his left, goes up, off the rim. No good on the layup. Here comes David. He's in the clear. He passes to Francis, who goes to the cup. Worthy is there, and it's a charge. Just outside the restricted area. Oh, the call has changed. Call has changed. Worthy was deemed to be inside the restricted area. Therefore, it is a blocking foul, and Francis will go to the line for two shots. Emmanuel Mandy and Wink check in for the Falcons. The basket was good. Basket was good, one shot. So the charge is waived, changed to a block. Basket is good. 3-point play not converted by Francis. 49-30 Braves. Kyle Roach now with the ball coming back up the floor. Blocking foul by Francis. There at midcourt. Checking in for the Braves is Ethan as Francis heads to the bench. Scales surveying and finds Wink. Wink out to Emmanuel Mandy. Mandy goes to the side and misses the jumper. Wink fouls on the rebound. Number 0, Wink on the foul. 1:03 remaining in the first half. Braves dribble up the floor. Elias hands off to Ethan. Ethan goes to the cup. Kicks out to Bryson, and another three. Raining threes in the first half for the Braves. They lead 52-30. Kyle Roach heads up the floor. Powers through a couple Ottawa defenders and throws it out of bounds. Not much there for Roach, but he tried to make it happen. Ran into some Ottawa traffic and turned the ball over. Mandy. Wink is out. Quadier Worthy is in. Bradley surveying the floor. Passes the ball over to Ethan. Ethan over to Bryson. Bryson's three off the mark. Rebound Emmanuel Mandy. Gets the ball to Roach. We're down into the final seconds of the half. Roach to Kahn. Kahn puts up a bucket. Ottawa gets it, throws it over their head, and that'll do it for the first half. Your first half score, Ottawa 52, Kansas Christian 32. Take a break here for halftime, and we'll see you in a little bit. And we're back. Second half action about to get underway. Your Falcons trail Ottawa 52-32. Inbounds in to Gary Scales. Gary heads down the floor surveying the court. Dribbling right to left, and then a foul on the play. Fouls on Ottawa. Kyle Roach will inbound for the Falcons. Roach takes the ball from the official. Throws it into Wink at the top of the key. Wink surveying the court, heads right, goes to the hoop, reverses, and called for the travel. Turnover for the Falcons on their first possession. Francis takes the inbounds pass, throws it up to Efren, and he throws up a three. And a rare miss by the Braves, but two Falcons underneath of the basket can't grab the ball. Easy opportunity missed there by the Falcons. Francis throws the ball into Ethan. Ethan back to Francis. He heads baseline, throws it back out to Efren. And then in the corner, Frank for three. Another three for the Braves. They pick right up where they left off in the first half. 55-32. Braves lead it. Kyle Roach dribbling the ball, puts up a shot, and hits it from the elbow. Braves right back at it. Heading down the court. Back out to Francis. And travel on the floor. Francis called with the travel. Falcons take possession after the turnover. Looking to get back in this game. Scales inbounds to Roach. Kahn, Bermejo, and Wink in the front court. Roach back out to Scales. Scales throws up a wild pass, intercepted by Efren. He gets it up to Elias, and his layup is no good. Scales with the rebound, comes right back at it. Falcons have numbers if they get there, and Scales to the hoop for the layup. Francis comes right back down. The Falcons struggle to get back on defense, but the pass is thrown away, and Ethan can't save it. Scales inbounds to Wink. Wink back to Scales. Slow dribble up the floor. Wink hands off to Roach. Roach heads back to baseline, and he dribbles it off his leg, but it hits off an Ottawa defender and goes out of bounds. Roach will inbound for the Falcons as they keep possession. Bermejo fighting for position underneath. Goes out top to Scales. Scales slips a pass into Bermejo, but he travels. Travel on Bermejo gives possession back to the Braves. Francis brings it up the floor once again. Braves get the ball up the floor much quicker. Ethan shoots the three and misses it. Bermejo with the rebound. Roach fighting to get to the cup, passes to Bermejo, and Bermejo finishes for two. Good set there from the Falcons. Francis to Elias to Efren. Frank with the pass there in the middle as well. That inbounds goes from Efren to Elias, back to Efren, back to Elias. Over to Frank. His left-handed three goes over the top of the backboard and out of bounds. So the Falcons get a stop. Wink, a little more urgency bringing the ball up the floor this time. Crossover between the legs dribble. His pass is deflected and goes out of bounds. Scales inbounding to Kahn. Kahn with the step back off the front of the rim, and it goes out of bounds. Possession to the Braves. Francis brings the ball up the floor. Pass to the corner. Efren back to Francis. Elias setting screens at the top. Then Francis goes to the cup. Layup just off the mark. Rebound Bermejo gets it out to Roach. Roach up to Wink. Wink penetrates and travels. Drug the pivot foot. Called for the travel. Subs in for the Braves. Number 10, Jet. Number 31, Adam. Number 0, Ethan. Bermejo tips the ball away, but the Braves maintain possession. Scales defending at the top on Francis. Francis crosses over, gets to the cup. On the arm, and one. Francis with the bucket and the foul. Hits him on the arm. Gary Scales called with the foul. Francis, this will be his third attempt. Third attempt at a three-point play. He's 1 for 2 so far this evening. His free throw is good. 2 3-point plays for Francis now. Quadier Worthy checks in for Gary Scales for the Falcons. A.J. Kahn inbounds to Wink. Roach heads up the floor, takes the ball from Wink, and they're back in action. Roach pushing the action, loses the ball, recovers, dribbles around, passes to Quadier. Quadier's three off the mark. Rebound bounces around, ends up in Wink's hands, and he finishes at the cup. 2-pointers there for Wink. Ottawa right back up the floor. Quick, crisp passes. Francis to the middle. Misses the layup. Loses control. It's poked out of bounds by the Falcons. Braves retain possession. Francis into Elias. He misses. Francis gets the rebound. The Braves reset. Set up a new play. Pick by Elias. Carry there on Francis. Turnover by the Braves. Falcons take over, trailing 58-40. Roach walking the ball up the floor. And he gets free, passes to Bermejo. Bermejo finishes. Nice pass from Roach. Bermejo with the finish. 58-42. Jet dribbling up the floor. Wink cuts him off. Back and across goes Jet. Now forcing him right to Francis. Francis back out to Jet. Jet now dribbling forward. Gets it back to Francis. Francis has it tipped away, and it's a steal. Got to get the ball up the floor. They do to A.J., and he finishes for the layup. Back in bounds, the Braves. That's a double dribble. Travel and a carry there by Ottawa. The crowd getting into it here. Good sequence there for the Falcons. Sub checks in. Braden in for Francis for Ottawa. Crowd gets excited as the Falcons put together a good sequence of plays. Trail here still 58-44, trying to claw their way back into this game. Wink will throw it in. Rolls the ball to the feet of Roach, who picks it up. Calls out some instructions to his team. Dribbles right, hands off to A.J. A.J. chucks up a three. No good. Bermejo rebound. No good on the jumper from the elbow, and Bradley with the rebound for Ottawa. Ethan gets ahead of the defense. Bermejo bodies him into the baseline. Jose Bermejo with the block. No shot on the play. Number 1, Bryson checks in for the Braves. Number 5, Askew checks in for the Falcons. Jets pass just gets over A.J. Kahn's hands, and then they have Bradley wide open under the basket, but Bryson's pass is a little high. Turnover for the Braves. Ball back to the Falcons. A.J. Kahn to Wink. Wink's pass handled by Askew. Askew looking for an opportunity. Wink gets by and lays it in. Nice take to the hoop there by Wink. Pass back in by the Braves. Quadier slows them down. Pass up to Bradley. Bradley to the corner for Bryson. Bryson's shot no good. Wink with the rebound. Wink up ahead again. He's looking for more, and no good. Ball gets loose, and a foul by AJ reaches in. Called for the foul as Elias pulled down that rebound for the Braves. That's Kahn's third or fourth foul. I'll have to check with the table. Timeout on the floor, Kansas Christian. Take a little break, and we'll be right back. Ottawa brings the ball up the floor in the hands of Jet. Jet over to Ethan. Ethan spins, finds Jet once again. Quadier-Worthy pressing the defensive action at the top. Bryson dribble handoff to Ethan. Ethan's jumper at the elbow is off the mark. Caden Askew with the rebound. Caden dribbling up the floor. Defender on his back. He gets it to Worthy. Worthy back to Askew. Askew loses the handle. Jet goes coast to coast and lays it in. Good finish by Jet. So he puts the ball in the hoop. Wink passes the ball to Roach. Roach to Askew. Askew for three off the front of the rim. Braden with the ball over to Elias. Jet with a little hesitation move, then throws up a wild shot off the side of the backboard. Roach finds Wink. Wink finishes. 2 points. 60-48. 12 minutes and 35 seconds left to go. Jet now with the ball. Passes up to Elias. Elias back to Jet. The Braves a little bit confused here, trying to sort things out. It looks like Bryson has it now. Hands off to Braden. Braden back over to Jet. Jet crosses over, but Roach picks his pocket, sends it up to Wink, and he puts it in. That cuts the deficit to 10. Timeout, Ottawa. 30-second timeout. So the Falcons have used some defensive pressure to get back in this game. A few Braves mistakes and some execution at the bucket by the Falcons has made things interesting as they have the deficit down to just 10. Falcons trailed by as many as 20 in this match here this evening. Ottawa trying to get things under control. Coach Ken Perry here for the Falcons giving instructions to his team. So the Falcons making a game of it here. There's the final horn, 30-second timeout. Both teams headed back out to the floor now. We're about to resume action. Ottawa inbounds the ball under their own basket. Quadier Worthy pressing some defense at the top on Francis. Braden gets open, another three, but they miss. Rare three-point miss there by the Falcons. Worthy wide open for three, and he gets it. 60-53, it's down to 7. Roach and Worthy trade off on the switch. The Braves not moving the ball near as crisply as they did in the early goings. Defense picking up for the Falcons. The crowd getting into it. Elias goes to the hoop, and a good, strong finish by Elias. Big basket there by the Braves. But the Falcons still have the deficit to single digits. Wink trying to answer right back, and he does. Right to the hoop. He puts it in. The Braves get the ball in to Francis quickly. They get it up to Braden, who goes baseline. His shot is wild, no good. Rebound Francis. Jump ball. Both players tied up with the basketball there. It'll stay in the possession of the Braves. Ottawa leads at 62-55. Adam and Frank check in, number 33 and 31 for the Braves. Efren inbounds the ball under the Ottawa basket. Wide open Braden passes up the shot, sends it out to Francis. Francis goes to the hoop. AJ's defense alters the shot, and Francis can't finish. Wink travels down, has Braden on his back, David on his back, and a little travel there from Wink. He gets called for the travel, turnover Falcons. So missed opportunity, but the Falcons still trail by just 7. Number 31, Adam with the ball over to Frank. Frank over to Efren. Efren to Adam. Adam back out to Frank. He's been good from there, but he misses this one. Francis with the big rebound. Askew battling, but the Braves retain it. Some happy feet there from Efren, but no travel called. Braden with the ball. Now Efren. Efren trying to get past A.J. Kahn. Kyle Roach defends it. His pass is deflected. That's a travel, but not called. And Efren ends up with the layup. Missed travel on Francis is a break for the Braves. And the deficit back to 9, 64-55. The pressure is definitely picked up here for the Falcons as they've cut this deficit down by 11 in the second half. Roach to the basket. Nearly converts with the foul. Kyle Roach goes to the line for 2 shots, narrowly missing the chance at a three-point play. Now looking to knock down 2 free throws. His first one is good. Roach has the simple approach. 1 dribble, put it up. Here comes Roach's second shot. And it's good. Roach perfect at the free throw line tonight. Gets the Falcons within 7. 9 minutes, 44 seconds left to play. Ball's inbounded by Efren. Francis brings the ball up the floor, sends it over to Frank. Frank over to Adam. Adam back to Frank. And now Frank to the cup. A.J. Kahn blocks the shot. Roach rebounds, gets it up to Wink. Wink goes up and in and out, but A.J. Kahn cleans it up. 64-59. Frank now with the ball. Passes over to Francis. Francis gets trapped, but gets the ball to Frank. Then the ball's stolen away, and we have a foul on Frank. Number 33, Frank, with the reach-in foul after the steal. Falcons really cut this deficit down, trailing by 20 at one point in this game. They now have it down to 5 with the ball. Wink rolls the ball in. Roach picks it up off the floor. 9 minutes to go. Roach looking for space, finds Wink. Wink to the cup again, reverse finish, no good. But then Wink steals it from Efren and comes back with the lay-in. 64-61, Efren had the ball stolen by Wink. He came around the other side and put it in the basket. Francis now up the floor, he loses control, somehow keeps it alive off the floor and throws it back in. Francis to the cup and foul there. On the floor, number 44, A.J. Kahn. That's Kahn's 4th foul. Bermejo now enters the game for Kahn. Gary Scales enters the game for Caden Askew. Good minutes from Kahn and Askew there. Help contribute to the defensive play for the Falcons to get him back in this game. Wink reaches in, pokes it away, but foul is called. Foul's on the floor. Efren had the ball poked away, but reach in is called on Wink. Efren will now inbounds the ball for the Braves. Surveying the floor, we got a foul. Kyle Roach with the foul. 8:22 left to play. Efren throws the ball in. Frank receives it, gives it to Francis. Francis out of control, falling backwards. Finds a pass out to Efren. Efren off the mark. Scales throws it up to Quadier. Quadier back to Scales. Scales to Roach. Roach steps into a three. Oh, and it hits all parts of the rim but won't go. Back and forth the action goes. Francis lifts up from deep, and it's no good. Off the rim and out of bounds. Braves have not hit the three-point shot near as effectively as they did in the first half. Bryson checks in for Francis. Scales, Wink, Bermejo, Roach, and Worthy out there for the Falcons. Ethan, Frank, Efren, Elias, and Bryson out there for the Braves. Scales to the cup, just hands it right off to Ottawa, and Elias is going the other way, but Wink, his quick hands knock the ball away and save a layup. Timeout on the floor. Falcons, it'll be a full timeout. We'll take a break. We'll see you in a little bit. And we're back. 7 minutes, 36 seconds remain in this game. Falcons trailed by 20 points at one point. Now have the deficit down to 3 as Ottawa leads 64-61. Pass from Frank goes right into the hands of Kyle Roach. Roach now with the ball. The Falcons have a chance to tie or get the game within 1. Shot clock didn't start, so we'll adjust it here at the table. Shot clock reset and is back in action. Scales back over to Roach. Roach crosses over, gets grabbed, and it's a foul on number 0, Ethan, for the Braves. Roach lands a little funny there, out of bounds. He's grabbing his shin area to see what the issue is. Standing back up. He's all right. He waves off, says he's okay. Inbounds play. Roach trying to run things out. He's going to head to the bench. They're going to make sure not force any injury here. So Askew checks in for Roach. Roach heads to the bench. Askew throws the ball into Worthy. Worthy over to Scales. Scales over to Wink. Wink crosses over, pulls up for a jumper. A little strong, but Scales gets the rebound, then loses the handle. Bermejo grabs it, passes to Worthy. Now over to Wink. Wink out to Worthy. Quadier crosses over, gets a little space, pulls up for a shot, and it is a shooting foul as Frank comes across the arm when Quadier pulls up to shoot. Kyle Roach comes back to check in as Quadier Worthy heads to the free throw line. His first shot, too strong off the back iron. Roach checks in, Askew checks out. Quadier hits the second. 64-62 in favor of the Braves. Ethan passes to Elias. Roach pokes it away. On the floor he goes. But Elias keeps control, gets it to Efren. Three-point shot, no good. Scales fights to keep possession of the ball and does so, gets it over to Wink. Roach is not moving near the way that he did earlier, but still on the floor on the far side. Scales with the ball now. He sends it over to Roach. Roach goes to the middle, no look pass to Scales, back over to Wink. Wink to Roach. Roach with the two-step Euro, and he's called for a travel. Bermejo pulls up a little lame, holding on to his quad area. So he checks out. A.J. Kahn back in. Ethan with the ball back over to Elias. Elias to Frank. Frank to Bryson. Jumper from the baseline is no good. Scales with the ball. The Falcons have a chance to tie or take the lead. Pass over to Roach. Roach pulls up for three, and the lead in and out. Wink fights for the rebound underneath. Can't quite poke it away. Defense by Wink, suffocating. Ethan fighting. And we have a whistle. Timeout on the floor. Timeout Ottawa. Full timeout for Ottawa. 64-62. We'll see you in a little bit. Back at it here at Cowan Memorial Auditorium this evening. Your Falcons trail by 2, men's varsity reserve basketball, hanging in a battle with Ottawa's black JV team. Update on your varsity women's basketball team. They're competing in an exhibition tonight at Cotty College. They trail in the fourth quarter. Men's basketball varsity competed at the Paycom Center today, home of the Oklahoma City Thunder against Mid-America Christian University. Braden goes up for the layup. It touches the rim and rolls out. Wink grabs it, looking to tie the game. He goes to the cup, and this game is tied. 64-64. Elias brings the ball up. Now over to Adam, back to Elias, over to Ethan, back to Elias. Ethan was lethal from 3 in the first half. He gives it off to Braden. Back to Elias. The gym comes to life. Elias chucks up a 3. That was not much of an offensive possession. Askew, lazy with the ball, has it stolen away by Adam, and then Scales grabs it back but hops on his feet and travels. So Ottawa will get the ball back. Throw in from Francis to Braden. 4 minutes, 18 seconds and counting. Braden over to Elias. Elias a little wild on his feet there. Francis takes it to the cup. His shot is short, but he fights for the rebound. Ball gets back into Francis's hand, and he looks to set up a new play. Elias up to set the screen. Francis follows, sends out to Ethan, and Ethan finds the three-point shot, his 5th of the game. So Scales brings the ball up the floor. Falcons trail by 3. Scales hands off to Wink. Wink back out to Askew. Askew's fouled. Reach in by 0. Pretty easy call there. So he reached forward. Askew comes out. Roach checks in for Askew. Conversation going on at the table, and then a timeout by the Falcons. 30-second timeout by Coach Perry. 67-64. Falcons trail by 3. They just tied the game on a bucket by Wink. But then Mr. Ethan of the Braves, number 0, put in his 5th three-point shot of the game to give the Braves a 3-point lead. The Braves led by 20 at one point in this game. Things have gotten a lot tighter here in the second half. The Falcons have managed to claw their way back into it. Coaches finishing up their instructions there on the sidelines. Waiting for the horn, and there it is. So back into action. Both teams headed back out onto the court. All right. Referee hands the ball off to Kyle Roach. He looks to throw it in. Ottawa suffocates the little defense from Francis. Scales finds his way in. Scales headed to the cup. Left-handed scoop, and he gets hit by and in. Nice play by Gary Scales right there. Falcons trail by 1. Francis dribbles to the side. Ethan left wide open, and you can't do that. Best three-point shooter on the floor, and he's wide open for three again. His sixth of the game. Kyle Roach now with the ball, crosses over Ethan, heads to the cup, goes a little reverse spin layup and doesn't get it. Francis gets the ball up to Braden. Braden to the corner for Frank. Frank to Francis. Francis dribbles in, back out to Braden. Braden puts up a running jumper, and it's good. 2 minutes, 26 seconds and counting here in tonight's game. Falcons trail by 6. Going to need to put together some buckets and stops here over the final 2 minutes of the game. Wink goes to the cup. Baseline, we got a foul, 1-1. Got a foul on number 11, Efren. That's going to put Wink at the line for a 1-1. 7th team foul for the Braves. So Wink gets the ball, looking to get this front end, and he does. First shot is good. Now Wink for his second. It's good as well. 2 for 2 at the line. 2 big free throws from Wink there. Cuts the deficit to 4. He climbs up on Francis for defense. They get it into Ethan and then back over to Frank. Frank brings the ball up, sends it over to Braden, back to Frank. Frank to Efren, back to Frank. Trying to get the ball in Francis's hands, but they're unable. Roach tips that ball away, and he fights all the way behind the scorer's table. 11 seconds on the shot clock. 1 minute, 53 seconds left in the game. Ball comes into Francis. Carry. Francis is called for the carry. Kyle Roach now will inbounds the ball. Falcons trail by 4. Gary Scales dribbles the ball up, and then Coach Perry calls the timeout. Full timeout. Full timeout. We'll take a break, come back, and finish this game up. Timeout over, and we're back in the action. Inbounds into Quadier Worthy. Quadier back over to Kyle Roach. Scales passes back to Worthy. Now Wink at the top of the key. Wink fighting to get into the middle. Roach gets it back out to Scales. 3 goes up and banks in off the rim, off the glass, and in. 72-71 in favor of the Braves. Full court press is broken by the Braves, but Francis misses the layup. He wanted the foul, but he didn't get it. Falcons with the ball and a chance to take the lead. Scales gives the ball to Roach. Roach dribbling, crossing over to the middle, finds Wink. Wink's layup is good. The Falcons take the lead, 73-72, 45 seconds and counting. Francis brings the ball up the floor. Braves trailing by 1. The crowd pleading for defense. Francis surveys, drives, goes to the cup. His pass is deflected into the corner for Ethan. His three's off the rim. Ephraim with the rebound. It bounces around. Scales has it, and Scales calls timeout. 30-second timeout. Gary Scales with the heads-up play. Fights for the rebound on the floor and calls the timeout. 24.7 seconds remain in the game. Both teams at their sidelines. Instructions to each other. Ottawa has broke their huddle. The Falcons getting ready to break theirs. Both teams on the floor. Falcons heading to inbounds the ball. They'll face full court pressure from the Braves. Kyle Roach with the ball. He looks for an opportunity to inbounds. He gets it in to Scales. Back to Roach. Roach lazy with the ball but retains possession. And then a block called on Francis. So Roach will go to the line. 2 free throws. We got a little water on the floor. Referee calls for it to be wiped up. And it is. Roach goes to the line for a 1-and-1. Front end will be crucial here for the Falcons. Water is wiped up. Towel back over to the sideline. Roach at the line. And the ball's in. Roach stretches at the back. 1 dribble and up. A.J. Kahn gets called for the lane violation. Crucial mistake there as the basket was good. So the Falcons continue to lead by just 1. Braves get the ball past half court and call timeout. So tough turn of events there for the Falcons. They lead by 1, but the Braves have the ball. Timeout on the floor as both teams head to their huddles. The Braves will be drawing up a play here. Be interested to see when they head to the basket for a shot. Probably go with a couple of seconds left for the chance at a rebound and score should they miss. Or they could hold to the final shot and put it up and see what happens. Falcons looking to draw up a defense to prevent a bucket here in these closing seconds as they lead by 1 after trailing by 20 to begin this half. The Falcons lead by 1 with 14.9 seconds left to play. Braves are on the floor. Here come the Falcons. Francis will inbound. He gets it to Ethan. Ethan reverses court, gets the ball to Francis. The handoff to Elias. Elias goes backdoor to Ethan. His layup is blocked by Wink, and then Wink is fouled. Wink blocked the shot at the rim, clean block. Then Francis has to foul Wink. 2.7 seconds remain. One and one for Wink His first shot, no good. He misses. Ottawa gets the ball. And the half-court shot goes no good. So the Falcons rally from 20 down in their first varsity reserve game of the season. They rally from 20 down and pull off the 73-72 victory. What an exciting evening. Great start to the varsity reserve season. This concludes a busy day in Kansas Christian College athletics. We thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.